Hello, Craig here again, also known as Poolside Dreamer. This is September 11th, 2022. This little spot here in the garden I'm going to refresh, pull out the plants that aren't productive, just leave the basil. This one basil over here, I'm going to pull that out totally. It's a variegated basil of some kind, and my wife doesn't like it, so I've got enough of the other here. But I'm going to plant something else in here. I'm not exactly sure what yet. I'll work on getting this dug up, plants pulled, and refreshed. In this bed, this grape plant is still doing okay, and this one here is doing okay. This pepper plant, I don't really know what's going on with it. I keep getting little peppers forming and they keep disappearing. I don't know if they're falling off or exactly what the story is, but something's happening to them. They're just not there anymore. I don't know if we have something in here eating them or what the story is behind that. I'm about ready to pull up these old onion plants. I think they've done their job of repelling bugs. I'm going to refresh this soil and get something else in here. I'm going to completely refresh this bed. The corn never did do anything at all, just died on me. Tasseled, but no silks at all. These pepper plants, I've been trying to nurse them along, and they're just not nursing at all. We had a good rain 2 nights ago. Didn't seem to help them, so I'm gonna completely clean up this bed. My sweet potato plants here, I don't know what the story is. I fertilized them fairly heavily, and a lot of them are just dying back. There's a few that have made it and are growing, but not all that well. Gonna have to wait and see if I get any sweet potatoes out of this. I got a few more in the house that I can transplant out here. See if that helps any, if I get any kind of crop at all. This sweet potato plant here is doing well. They had a storm come through here, say 2 nights ago, and blew this over. I'll have to straighten it up. It's actually the first time I've been out since the storm came through. But we'll see. There's something eating on some of the leaves here. They got holes in them, but that's to be expected. I don't use any insecticides. My asparagus plants are dying back. It's about that time of year. This one plant has a lot of berries on it. I'll pick those and save the seeds. There's several seeds in one berry, so 2 or 3 seeds in each berry. Let them ripen a little more and then I'll pick them. I've got 2 pots where the strawberry plants have survived so far, and another pot where they just died back. This sweet potato plant here is doing, I guess, acceptably well. It's growing, not as well as I would like, but that's life. My moringa trees are doing fine. Growing nicely. So is my single volunteer asparagus plant. This sweet potato plant over here is not doing too bad. It's growing up the trellis, cage, whatever. And I got 2 sweet potato plants here that seem to be doing fine. I've got one of them that looks like it's starting to climb this trellis for the grapes. My pomegranate plants are still surviving. In fact, I've got this one that's produced 2 flowers. So we'll see if that does anything. I think this one might be a female, but I'm not sure. Banana plants back here doing fine. Probably time to replant them into larger pots. Blueberry plants there and there are doing okay. Got a lemon tree here that I grew from seed. One there, another one over there. The squash plants I put out here a couple of weeks ago have adjusted to the heat and seem to be doing okay. It's probably time to fertilize them though, because the leaves are getting pretty small. This moringa tree is doing better. It's the one that almost died a couple months back, and I moved it back among the pomegranate bushes here to shade it some, and it's recovered nicely. There's some of the sweet potato plants I plan on putting out into the sweet potato patch a little later. This pomegranate tree or bush or whatever is doing okay. Actually, I found out that these are not trees, they're classified as bushes. So it did flower earlier, but the flowers died back, so I'm not expecting anything out of this until spring now. I got I got a another sweet potato plant in this pot, and it's holding its own. Can't say much more about it. The mint plants are doing okay. They're coming back nicely, all except the catnip. I think it might be gone. I don't see any kind of growth down here. Looks like the plant's totally died. My grape plant over here is surviving, as is that one over there. This basil plant is doing okay. I haven't harvested anything off this one, mainly because it's gone to seed, but that's all right. Some more pomegranates. This lemon tree is doing fine. This pomegranate had seen better days, but it's got one flower. It might be a female flower. I'm not 100% sure. And it's got another flower down there. Some more of my pomegranate. This pomegranate actually looks like it's fruiting. Let's see if it holds. If it does, I'll have 2 pomegranates off this bush. And this one's doing all right. Here again, this one might be female. It's thicker in here. Not exactly sure, but it might be. I just noticed that the wind blew a couple of the branches off of that tree. From right there. How about that? Well, something else to pick up and clean up one of these days. Well, while pulling up that basil plant there, I knew I had some dead or dying onions close to it. Though I didn't realize is they're actually viable onions. How about that? So, not in perfect shape, but they're still okay. Let's see what we can do with those. Now here's an interesting find. Not a good one, but I don't know if you can see it, but there are literally thousands of these little ants. I moved this board after I stepped on it and almost got myself covered in these things. And over here is their nest. Looks fairly substantial to me. Gonna have to do something about that before they get into the house. Make a mess of things there. I'm putting in one bag of this Miracle-Gro all-purpose in-ground soil, garden soil. I'm not sure how good this stuff is. I do know that some of the potting soils sold in stores now do have some kind of herbicide mixed in because it's sprayed on the plants before they are harvested and composted. So give it a shot anyway. I'll just spread that out and work it in the soil. I'm also adding this organic plantain, whatever, fertilizer. It's a 5-3-3 formula. Hopefully that will help the plants grow. Although I've used this before and maybe I just didn't use enough of it, but it didn't seem to make that much difference. Anyway, I'll give it a shot. I'll use a lot more of it. I had a commentator say that my soil was dead, my growing media was dead, and I believe it. I usually don't find any earthworms in my growing media at all. Occasionally maybe one or two. Even though I'm constantly adding kitchen scraps to this, it doesn't seem to help any. But, you know, hope springs eternal. And I'll get this added and go from there. I added one cottage cheese container full of the fertilizer, so dig that in and see what happens. Unfortunately, it's getting dark out, so I won't be able to do much more tonight. So y'all take care. Talk to you guys later. Until next time, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.